Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today is the big day. The big update has dropped in Call of the Wild. A lot of big changes. One of the big changes are Whitetail in Rancho Del Arroyo. So we need to do an up-to-date Great One guide for Rancho Del Arroyo. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to compare what it used to be like, where the whitetail used to be, and where they are now, and what that means for your grind. What does that mean? What do we have to change for our Great One grind? We're going to go over that today. I'm going to simplify it. We're going to make it really simple. We're going to go over strategies, debunk some of the myths surrounding the Great One grind and how the Great One spawned and all that stuff. We're going to get straight into it. We're not going to waste any time. So don't forget to drop a like on the video if you enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And without further ado, let's jump into it. All right, so first things first, you guys, let's talk about hotspots for whitetail. Where are they now? Where did they used to be? Where are they now? What does that mean for our grind? What do we have to change? Do we have to move our tents around? Do we have to move our setups all around the map? Where are they? Are the herds bigger? Are they the same size? Are they smaller? What happened to the population? Basically, what happened to the population of whitetail? I'll throw up right now I'm going to throw up the old hotspot map for Rancho on the screen for you guys, and then on the other side, I'm going to put them side by side. We're going to look at the way that they were on the map before and the way that they are now. So the population, how it used to be, and the population, how it is now. And you'll see, they're very much, basically what they did is they spread them out. So what they did was in Rancho, as you guys probably remember, you used to have really big herds, lots of zones at the, 8 lakes that they used to be at, right? They were only at like the 8 or so lakes that they lived at, and you would have big zones, right? Sometimes up to 20, 30 whitetail at a zone. A lot of your zones would have had 4 or 5, 6 bucks consistently respawning at those zones. That's no longer a thing. So basically what they did, your whitetail deer population on Rancho, it's still the same size. It has not changed. But what it's done is it's spread around. So we've got more zones, we've got more possibilities for where the whitetail can be, and we've got smaller herds. So this does change some elements, some variables of the grind. And basically, I'm going to bring up my own map now, and we're going to kind of talk a little bit about that, about what we're going to do. What does that change? What does that mean? Well, first thing that it means is you're no longer going to be grinding all of your zones. We don't have enough tents for that. We only have 16 tents that we can put on the map, and we're probably going to have between 35 and 40 zones, maybe even more, maybe like 35 to 45 now, with all the places that the whitetail can be, with them being essentially, they're everywhere but this top corner. So this lake and that little lake up there, these 2 little lakes, and then these 2 little spots, that's the only water where you're not going to find whitetail now. Everywhere else, all along the bottom here, the coast, all of the, like they're down here now at the bottom left, I got a few zones there. They are just spread out all over the place. This lake, this little lake over there, they can be now. It's pretty wild. So this changes a lot. So basically what you're going to do now is I would check all the same lakes, all your old zones, go around. Some of them aren't going to be there anymore. Some of them still will be. The herds are going to be smaller. But basically go through, check your old zones, go through your old setup, essentially, if you have one. If you don't have one, that's fine. Go to all the lakes that they used to be at and check those out. And it basically, you can start to omit tents, right? If I've got tents here, let's say, I've only got 1 or 2 zones here now. I used to have 5. Maybe I don't need 2 tents here anymore. I can pop one of those off. So go through, take away all the tents and setups that you don't need anymore at those old spots. And then what you can do is go through and go to the new areas where the whitetail are. And based on where your zones are, I've got zones in here now for whitetail. I've got one there, I've got one there, and one there, and I've got one down. I think I've also got a whitetail zone somewhere here. So I might want a tent, up here or up in there, and I might want a couple tripods. So basically that's what you can do. Work your way along the coast and look for your whitetail zones there. See if you want some tents down there, tents or tripods. Check this lake. I've got a zone here. I've got a zone there. And I've got a zone down here for whitetail. So I'm probably going to want a tent somewhere in here as well. So essentially what this means is you're going to have zones that you're not going to hunt. So you're going to pick your favorite. Okay, if you got 40 zones, I would say pick your favorite 15, make your setups, and then come up with a rotation that works for you based on those 15 zones. Just like we talked about in the last Rancho Del Arroyo Great One grind, just like we talked about in the Red Deer Great One grind, still the same things still apply. If you guys want more info, if you want this more, I'm not gonna go as in detail as I have in the old Great One guides, but I do have older Great One guides that kind of go over the fundamentals. Like I get really kind of deep into that. So I would still suggest watching those. The other thing I want to talk about is a lot of overthinking goes into this grind. The Great One is just a rare spawn. You don't have to think about it any more than that. The great one spawning has nothing to do with what has previously spawned. It has nothing to do with how many diamonds you're spawning at the moment. Your maps are not heating up. Your maps are not going cold. In relation to the great one, your maps are never heating up or going cold. My last Red Deer Great One spawned at a time when I hadn't spawned a level 9 legendary and over 600 kills. All of a sudden I had a great one on my map. Boom, it popped, it respawned from a small stag. So it doesn't have anything to do with that. It's just like a rare fur variation or a diamond spawning. They have a rare spawn rate and they can spawn from a buck or a stag anytime they want to. Winning the lottery has nothing to do with how many times you've played the lottery. It's just chance. So it's the same thing. You don't have to overthink it. I would say just shoot all your bucks. There are, you know, theories and things that I can't say are totally myths, right? Shooting just the big bucks, shooting just the big stags. Some people shoot all the does and all the hinds as well. I can't completely say that that's not a thing or that won't help. But for me, I just shoot all the males. Sometimes I'll shoot females. If I've got a zone that's got like 1 male and like 7 females or something, yeah, I'll shoot a few of those females because sometimes it does seem like those females can come back as males. Whether they can or not, I can't confirm, but sometimes it really does feel like that could be possible. So sometimes it is a good idea to just shoot a few of the females. It's not going to hurt your grind doing that. But yeah, as far as a great one spawning, it's just a rare spawn. That's it. That's all there is to it. So additionally, for the newer players, for some of you guys, just like really key things to note here, keep your tents backed off from your zones, backed off from your animals. If I've got a zone here, and that's what this tent is for, 250 meters is really safe. You should be fine from like 200, 220, but 250, I would say, just to be safe, keep your tents about 250 meters back from any animals that you imagine are going to be around it that you don't want to spook. For tripods, I would say 200 meters to be safe. Wear your backpacks if you're setting up, if that's what you're using it for, but if at any time that you don't want to be spooking animals, take the backpack off. Remember to take it off because you will be spooking animals way easier wearing a backpack than without a backpack on. The whitetail still drink from 8 to 11:30 is not changed on Rancho. It's still 8 to 11:30, so that has not changed. If you guys want to know a little bit more about how hunting pressure works, again, check out the older Great One guides. I would watch, if you're watching this video and you haven't seen my first Rancho Del Arroyo Whitetail Great One guide, definitely watch that too. I go into detail about things like hunting pressure, all kinds of stuff. It goes into a lot more detail with kind of the more beginner stuff than I will in this video. But hunting pressure, right? You don't want to be shooting more than 3 animals at a zone, right? That'll wipe a zone. You can shoot 3, you get the bright pink. If you shoot 3, if you shoot more than that, you're wiping any zone that hunting pressure is on top of. You're also going to wipe a zone if you shoot every animal at a zone. If I've got a zone with 2 does and a buck and I shoot all 3 of them, that zone is going, it's gone. So you don't want to do that either. Tripods are really going to help with that. You can shoot tons of animals from a tripod. I think it's like 12 or 16 animals from a tripod without ruining a zone. You get way less hunting pressure. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up. I really wanted to make this just a shorter video. We're not going to go out and hunt and stall and make this a 25-minute guide. I don't want to do that. Made this one as quickly as I possibly could. Hopefully it's not too long at the end of editing, but I hope it does help you guys. If I missed anything, let me know down in the comments. Drop a comment if you want to add anything to this. Drop a comment anyway. Say hello. Make some friends down there in the comments section. Definitely do that. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're on the road to 25,000 subscribers. I will see you guys in the next one.